ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ryan Awesome. And welcome to the Ryan Awesome Show. Now, today on the Ryan Awesome Show, I'll be talking about Impact Wrestling for March 30th, 2021. Now, overall, man, it was a decent show. It was an okay show. It wasn't all that bad. This episode of Impact, they were talking about Kenny Omega. The show was built around James Storm and Kenny Omega. James Storm with his 1,000 match on TNA, and Kenny Omega with the Rich Swann stuff within a Rebellion match. And so yeah, and in the Hardcore Justice pay per view that's coming up, they building towards that too. But yeah, it was a decent show. And so yeah, man. So this is the Impact Wrestling review for March 30th, 2021 on the Ryan Awesome Show. And if you haven't done this already, man, what are you waiting for, man? Hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. And right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell so you'll be the first ones to know when my next video will come out, because I am here each and every single week. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and you turn on that bell so you don't miss out. And so yeah, we started off the show with a tag team match, and it was with the women. And it was Havok and Nevaeh versus Fire and Flava, who are the Impact Knockouts Tag Team Champions. That's Kiera, Hogan, and Tasha Steelz. And so yeah, with this match, I really did not care about this match. I didn't care about it because we seen it. We seen it over and over and over again. And then I didn't even know why they had a match with them. Like the stipulation is if they beat Fire and Flavor, they get a title opportunity. So with them making that match, I knew for a fact that they wasn't gonna win that match. And so yeah, we had Havok. She used her strength against Hogan, and then we had a double team move to Hogan from Havok and Nevaeh. So Havok and Nevaeh, they took control of the match, the early portion of the match. And so yeah, we had a double drop kick to Havok's leg from Fire and Flavor. And so Fire and Flavor, they took control of the match. And then we had a hot tag to Nevaeh. She took out Fire and Flavor. We had a German suplex to Tasha Steelz from Nevaeh. And then we had Steelz had hit a cold breaker on Nevaeh. And then we had a power bomb. We had a power bomb to Steelz from Havok. And then Hogan, she had broke up the pin. And so yeah, they were going back and forth with moves, all four of them. And so yeah, we had a cutter. We had a cutter to Nevaeh from Steelz, followed up by a fisherman's neckbreaker to Havok from Tasha Steelz. And so Tasha Steelz, she went on the top rope. She had a diving splash, like a diving frog splash to Havok to win the match. So Fire and Flavor, they won the match. And that was it. That was it. And right after the match, we had Havok. We had Havok and Nevaeh. They were, hugging each other. They were embracing each other. And so, Havok, she had left, or she had turned around, to walk away. And then out of nowhere, man, we had Nevaeh. She had turned on Havok. She attacked her tag team partner, so she turned heel. And so Nevaeh, she had attacked Havok. She speared Havok, and then she dropped her with a DDT. And so that was it. That was the end of the match and the end of the segment. What they're doing with Nevaeh? What exactly are they gonna do with her now that she's a heel? I don't know. But yeah, it was a good match, but I didn't care about it. I didn't care about the match because we seen it over and over and over and over and over again. But what they do with Nevaeh, gonna have to find out maybe next week or the week after that. But yeah, I knew something was gonna happen in that match. I knew something was gonna happen. Either Tennille Dashwood got involved, or you know something else happened. Nevaeh turning heel or something like that. So yeah, that was it with that. And so right after that, we had Gia Miller. She interviews James Storm, the cowboy James Storm. And so this is what happened.
Please welcome my guest at this time, the cowboy, James.
How you doing? Are you ready?
Yes, I am. Welcome and congratulations, because tonight, when you step foot in the ring, it will be for your 1,000th match here at Impact Wrestling.
I
Yeah, we can tell.
As much as this should be a celebration, to me it's more of a dedication. Because for a guy, for a man that has had 1,000 matches here at Impact, I wasn't even supposed to have one. There was a man, his name was Bob Ryder, that passed away not too long ago. And he took these two punk kids by the name of James Storm and Chris Harris, and he would go to the Impact office week after week, and he would tell them, you got to use these guys. You got to use these guys. They got something. Week after week, they would just laugh Bob off. And then finally, I think they got tired of just listening to Bob, so they used us. And they listened to Bob, and the rest is history. And so this is not, like I said, not only a celebration, this is a dedication to my best friend, Bob Ryder. I know you're there, you're watching now, buddy. And Eric Young, you better be ready, boy. Because when I walk out there, I am going to beat you up. And I expect you to bring it. And I also expect you to bring your friends. Guess what? I actually have some friends of my own.
Chris Sabin, Jake something.
Oh, not so fast, not so fast. This is your 1,000th match, man. Super special. You know, we got a surprise for you.
Give me a cake.
And that surprise was Chris Harris, his former tag team partner.
Chris Harris. Been a long time. Yes, it has, cowboy. Congrats, brother.
Yeah, hug.
Let's do this. Yep. Let's go, guys.
And that was it. You know, Chris Harris made his return to the Impact Zone. Haven't even heard of Chris Harris in forever. Never heard of him. You know, not the fact that I never heard of him, I just haven't heard about him in a while. And so, yeah, so his tag team partner, his former tag team partner in America's Most Wanted, AMW, Chris Harris had came back. And so, yeah, that was it. And James Storm, he was dedicating his match to, you know, his mentor, Bob Ryder, who passed away. So, yeah, that's who he was dedicating his match to. And so, yeah, right after that, we had Gia Miller. She interviews Deonna Purrazzo, the virtuosa Deonna Purrazzo, who is the Knockouts champion, and Susan. And so this is what happened.
Champion Deonna Purrazzo and Susan.
You know what, Gia? You know what I want to talk about? What I did to Jazz last week. Since I became the Knockouts champion for the second time, I've done everything I said I was going to do. I am unstoppable. Susan,
No. Jazz is reckless. What she did to Kimberly is atrocious and unknockout like. I'm just gonna say this once. She deserves more than what she got.
Oh. And that was it. Oh, Jazz, she had attacked Susan backstage. And that was it. And so, yeah, right after that, we had a match. It was a one-on-one match, and it was Sami Callihan, a draw. Sami Callihan versus Larry D with Acey Romero in his corner. And so, yeah, this was a good match. We had a pump kick to Larry D, and then Sami Callihan and Larry D, they were going back and forth with strikes. We had a springboard clothesline to Larry D. And then at one point, we had Sami Callihan. He was about to go for a tope suicida. And then Larry D had caught him in midair and then, you know, ran him into the ring apron and then slammed him on the ring apron. And then we had went to commercial break. We had came back from commercial break. They were fighting outside the ring. Callahan, he goes after Larry D's eyes, you know, raking his eyes and stuff. And then we had Larry D, he absolutely dropped Callahan with an elbow strike. And so, yeah, they were going back and forth in the ring. And we had Larry D, he had a discus clothesline to Callahan. And then we had Larry D, he had a short arm clotheslines to Callahan. And Callahan, he was still standing up. And then, at one point they were fighting near the top rope, and then you had Sami Callihan. He picked him up like he picked him up from the top rope, and so he had hit Larry D with a Death Valley driver, and so he went for the cover. Larry D he kicked out, and then Sami Callihan he tried to go for the power driver, but on the apron he tried to hit the power driver on the apron, and so Larry D he escaped it. He fought out of it, and so yeah, they were fighting on the ring apron. And so, yeah, they were fighting on the ring apron, and then Callahan, he had hit a power driver, a rope power driver, the heat seeker, what MJF does in AEW with the power driver on the ring rope. That's what Callahan had hit. He hit the rope power driver to Larry D to win the match. So Sami Callihan he won the match, and right after the match we had Acey Romero. He attacked, he beat up Sami Callihan. And he gave him a huge side slam to Sami Callihan. And so they were beating up Sami Callihan. Acey Romero was beating up Sami Callihan, and so we thought that Trey Miguel was gonna come out to help Sami Callihan because Callihan he had helped out Trey Miguel last week with the beatdown from Triple XL. And so Trey Miguel he didn't come out. He did not come out. And so right after they beat up Sami Callihan, they had left. Their music played. And so Sami Callihan, right after that, he got up, he recovered, and he started laughing. He was laughing and he was clapping his hands. And so, signifying that, Trey Miguel is not soft. If I was Trey Miguel, man, I would have done the same thing. I would have stayed in the back. I wouldn't want nothing to do with this guy. After what this dude to me, like what he did to me, you expect me to come out and help him after all that stuff he put me through? I would have done the same thing, exact thing, stay in the back. And so, that was it with that. And so, right after that, we had Kenny Omega. Well, first off, we had the FinJuice guys. They had showed a video package of the FinJuice guys, Juice Robinson and David Finlay, fighting in a tag team tournament in Japan. And that was it. And you had Kenny Omega and Don Callis. And the Good Brothers, they were watching it. They were watching the tapes, and this is what they said.
Oh, it's fantastic, right?
I mean, they got a little better, yeah.
These kids look good. I mean, FinJuice. I mean, they got the
I
belts.
see what the fuss is
Look at
about.
this. Did you guys
I can
scout
see
any
what
of
the
this?
fuss
Did
is
you even
about.
watch
What do you think?
footage of any of your opponents?
I'm not that impressed.
We're liking it.
I would say you guys are the best judge of character. They got better, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Kind of.
I'm just still not really impressed.
Sure,
They
they're
got-
good.
You're not impressed with them. They have the belts. I mean,
Look at
hey, you
them.
know what? You guys, listen, we're having a little fun. Why don't we put in the One-Winged Angel video? We can watch that. That never gets old.
It's so good.
Great
I
video.
don't even know.
We've seen it 8 times.
Yeah, it's an
guys.
awesome
Can you watch
video.
something else?
Come on.
What is wrong? You guys aren't yourselves.
There's
It's like
something else
you
to watch.
guys are a little nervous or something. I mean, I know that I mentioned before that it's the wrestling business, not the friend business. I mean,
listen,
it
like
is
show
very
business,
much like a what have you done for me lately, and you guys don't have the belts.
Get it.
We don't have the belts. It's Gallows' fault we don't have the belts.
You got pinned. How is it my
That's
fault?
What are they talking about?
Oh yeah. You know what? That could work.
What did they say? What did they say? Tell me. Yeah, just tell me. What is it? Are you serious? What is it, Gunnar? What is it? Pass it on. Pass it on.
So they whispering in each other's ear.
Like that? Like that? All right, guys. Here we go. Yeah, this is show business now, baby. I like it.
Show business.
Let's check this out.
Show business.
Fantastic.
Yeah. What a secret I whispered to you.
Oh, very nice.
That was a hell of a secret.
So that was it. That was it with that. And so my question is, what exactly were they whispering? What exactly did they whisper to the Good Brothers and Kenny Omega? I don't know, but I'm a guess. Maybe they want the Young Bucks for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. Maybe, because I don't see the Good Brothers. I don't see them winning back the Impact Tag Team titles. Like it won't make any sense to have them win the titles after you took it away from them. So what sense would that make when you took it off of them just to put it back on them? It's not gonna make any sense. So I'm guessing it has something to do with the AEW World Tag Team titles. And so that's what I think. And so right after that we had Sami Callihan and Trey Miguel at Backstage, and this is what happened.
I saved your ass last week in a
Sit down, chill. I'm not here to fight. I saved your ass last week as Triple XL, and you couldn't even return the favor. But I get it. I'm the last person you want to see right now.
Why would I return the favor to you?
Why would I return the favor to you? Why
What do I owe you? Tell me what I owe you first.
A couple weeks
Is that
ago.
what you needed?
See, I'm not the bad guy in this.
No.
A couple weeks ago, when we wrestled one-on-one, I saw exactly what you're lacking. That's passion. Everything I did was for a reason. I pushed you to your limit because I expect better out of you. How long have I known you, Trey?
Irrelevant.
How long have I known you?
Irrelevant!
See this? This is what you need. You need to harness that anger. You need to take that anger and use it, and you can get to that next level. And I got you there. That's why I'm giving
You got me there?
You got me there?
You think you validate my passion, Sammy? You are not my Twitter check mark.
One chance. You allow me to be your mentor.
I look like a young boy to you?
Hey, I know you hear mentor and you think you're just going to be another one of my lackeys. No, that's not what I'm offering you. I am offering you, me and you, standing together, side by side, and carrying Impact Wrestling into the next lifespan. I've carried this company for the last 4 years by myself, and I see in you.
But yourself, what makes you think I give a damn?
Next week, I'm going to go to Scott D'Amore, and I'm going to make sure that I can wrestle Triple XL in a tag match, and I choose my own tag partner. And there is only one person that I want by my side, and that is Trey Miguel.
Hell no.
You know what? Don't give me an answer now. You think about it for a week, and then give me your answer.
And that was it. I absolutely love this segment, the back and forth between these two. Them yelling in each other's face and stuff. I like that, but I don't know if I agree with them. Being in a tag team match. I don't know if I like that. I don't know why a challenger, two opponents tag teaming. Because they're gonna have a match. They're gonna have a match, another match. It might be at that Hardcore Justice pay-per-view. It might be at that Hardcore Justice pay-per-view. So I don't know why they tag teaming them. I don't know. But I love the feud. I absolutely love the feud. But I don't know why they teaming them up. After they've been at each other's throat the entire time. You had Sami Callihan came into Trey Miguel's school, his wrestling school, and beat up his friends who are like family to him. And you want to tag team with this dude? No, I don't like that. They need to rip each other's throat out, man. They need to rip each other's throats out. They need to beat each other down, man. They don't need to be in no tag team. And so yeah, that was it with that. And so right after that, we had a match, and it was the most professional wrestler, Brian Myers versus Suicide. And so yeah, there really wasn't much to this match. Wasn't much to this match. We had a tilt-a-whirl head scissors to Brian Myers, followed up by a drop kick. And then we had, Suicide. He was taking control of the match. He had a shotgun drop kick to Myers from the corner. And then Myers had hit a Falcon Arrow to Suicide. He kicked out. And then Myers, he had hit Suicide with a flatliner. And he followed that up with the roster cut, his finishing move, that running clothesline to Suicide to win the match. And that was it. So Brian Myers wins the match. And so right after that, we had Brian Myers. He spoke about Matt Cardona, challenging him to a match. And so this is what he had to say.
So my old pal, Matt Cardona, has challenged me to a match. Well, that's lovely, Matt. But even with one eye, I'm seeing right through you. You're just trying to get the rub. The rub from the most professional wrestler like you've been doing for the past 18 years. But it's not going to happen. Not here, not at Impact Wrestling. Impact Wrestling is mine. I'm the franchise of Impact Wrestling. And that doesn't include you.
So that was a no. So he said no. You know we're gonna get that match, but he said no. It's not gonna happen, but it is gonna happen. It's gonna happen later. You know, Scott D'Amore, you know, he's gonna make the match at Hardcore Justice or Tommy Dreamer, whoever in charge of that pay-per-view, Tommy Dreamer, you gotta make the match. And so yeah, and so right after that we had Jazz and Tommy Dreamer there backstage, and you know Jazz is upset about Deonna Purrazzo, and so this is what happened.
Yo, Dream.
What's up?
Where's Scott? You seen him?
No, you alright?
No, I'm trying to get my hands on Deonna.
You know, I'm booking Hardcore Justice, and I have an opportunity for you. I've been thinking about this. You remember that thing we used to do in ECW called Ultimate Jeopardy?
Yeah,
Where somebody would have to give up something?
yeah.
What do you say, you versus Deonna Purrazzo? If you win, you got the title.
Yeah.
But if you lose, you got to give something up.
You know, Dream, the way I'm feeling, I'd put my career on the line.
Oh,
You don't have to do this. I brought you back. You don't have to do this.
And you know, I appreciate that, Dreamer. I appreciate everything you've done since day one. But yeah, it's my career.
You sure?
I'm positive. That's how bad I want it.
All right. You got it.
All right.
You better not lose.
Tell me about it. I'm not.
and that was it. So yeah, Jazz is putting her career on the line. So it's gonna be title versus career. And so with this match, man, like I see them giving the win to Jazz because she putting her career on the line. So they might give it to Jazz, but I don't think Jazz should win. I don't think nobody should take that title off of Deonna Purrazzo because Deonna Purrazzo done a great job as champion. She beating everybody. Everybody that she defended that title against, she beat them. So I don't know why would you take the title off of Deonna Purrazzo just to put it on Jazz? I don't know what sense that'll make. And so yeah, and another reason why I think they're gonna put the title on Jazz because most of the times when these people put their career on the line, they end up winning the match. They end up winning the match and they don't retire. And so that's why I think that they'll put the title on Jazz, but I don't want it to happen. Deonna Purrazzo should not lose to nobody. She shouldn't be losing. And so yeah, that was it with that. So it's gonna be a title versus career match at Hardcore Justice. And so yeah, right after that we had the AEW paid ad from Tony Khan, the Forbidden Door, Tony Khan and Tony Schiavone. And he was going over the AEW card, the match card, for tomorrow's AEW Dynamite. And talking about Kenny Omega. And that Tony Khan, he was going on and on and on how he's the Forbidden Door and everything goes through him. And that was it. That was it with Tony Khan. Same stuff. And so right after that, we had the Swingers Palace. And so this is what happened in the Swingers Palace. We had a special guest in the Swingers Palace.
Hey, Dino, how are the bets on these bouts at Rebellion coming along, Daddy?
Nightmare, the bets are through the roof. We are making bank.
Yeah, I love the kids' ass. Give me
Go.
that.
Hey, can I go to the bathroom real quick?
You didn't even raise your hand. What are you talking about?
I really gotta go, man.
Well, what if a Mizar comes in, Daddy?
Please, I have to use the bathroom.
Swingerellas, divert your eyes. That means look the other way.
Kenny Omega and Don Callis.
Dino, is that the guy from TNN? Winnipeg. Yeah, Daddy.
Last time I saw you was pre-cell phone era. What's going on, baby?
I'm moving up, Daddy. Oh, yeah. Finally,
Remember how
someone
that
puts it
goes,
around
don't
you.
you? It's quite a little Miami Vice freak show going on here with this thing, and I see you found work. You landed on your feet, so to speak. I don't know what this is, but I did hear something. I heard you're taking action on Kenny Omega. I'm sorry to bring you to a place like this. Every once in a while, you got to get a little dirty, get your hands dirty. You know what I mean? We might have to get ourselves tested after this, but you love that, don't you? You've had everything. You're taking bets on the big match between Kenny and Rich Swann. I just wanted to see what the action was like.
Ooh, Daddy, it's a little tight right now. It's
What do you
like
mean?
1-to-1,
1-to-1.
Is that it?
Oh, well, let me just see if maybe I can give you a little inside information. This is the one-winged angel super video that we've had put together.
And they showed him the video of the woman angel.
Get it in his favor.
I thought you might say that. You know what? Let's have a little friendly wager.
Yeah.
We're gonna put 20K down on Kenny Omega.
20,000 big ones. Money mark.
We're gonna have to get out of here because this whole place smells like hot stuff and Russian D-ball.
What?
Consider it booked, Daddy. We're rolling in it. 20,000.
Dude, I never thought I would have said this. Kenny Omega shows up in the Swingers Palace, man. No, I never would have thought. I had that thought in my mind. Kenny Omega showing up at the Swingers Palace. So yeah, I thought that was really funny, man. And so yeah, right after that we had a tag team match. It was Tjp and Josh Alexander versus Ace Austin, the inevitable Ace Austin, the X Division champion, and Madman Fulton. And so yeah, at first with this match, I don't know why this match was a tag team match, but it was good. It was a good match. So yeah, we had Alexander. To start off the match, we had Alexander. He had shoved Tjp out of the way because Tjp he wanted to start the match first, but Josh Alexander had told him to move out of the way. He just pushed him out of the way and said, I'm gonna start this match. And so yeah, we had Fulton and Alexander. They start off the match. We had Fulton. He threw Alexander around, and then Austin he had tagged in and he tagged back out, and we had a belly to back suplex to Alexander, and then Alexander he had turned it into a headlock. And we had a diving shoulder tackle to Fulton from Alexander. And then, Alexander and Tjp, they took out Austin and Fulton. And then right after that, they started arguing. So they were arguing the entire time. And so, yeah, we had a chokehold. We had a chokehold to Tjp from Fulton on the top rope. And so Tjp, he had hit a tornado DDT to Austin. And we had a hot tag to Alexander. He goes after Fulton with, elbow strikes. And we had a suplex to Fulton from Alexander. And then Fulton, he had caught Alexander with a big boot. And then we had Alexander, he accidentally ran into Tjp in the corner with a corner splash. And so Austin, he had took advantage of it. He gave Alexander a spinning kick. And then we had a blind tag. We had a blind tag to, a blind tag from Tjp. And, Alexander, he doesn't know about it. And so, yeah, Tjp went on the top rope, hit a Mamba splash on Austin. And so Tjp, he tried to go for the cover. And so Josh Alexander, he had just, they were fighting. They were not beating each other up. They were just pushing each other, trying to fight over the pin. And so the referee was telling, Alexander, Tjp is the legal person. He's the legal person. And so, they were wasting time by arguing instead of picking up the win. And so, yeah, we had Austin, he recovered from it. And he ended up rolling up Tjp for the 1-2-3. And that was it. So Tjp and not Tjp. Ace Austin and Madman Fulton and won the match. And that was it. That was it. Don't know why it was a tag team match. If it was gonna end up like that, don't know why. But at least the champion did not lose. And so yeah, that was it with that. Good. It was a good match. But I don't understand why it was a tag team match. And so right after that, we had Don Callis. We had Don Callis again. We had Don Callis, and he was backstage with Willie Mack. So Willie Mack was backstage. It looked like they was in a cafeteria or something like that, or a catering room. And so, yeah, not Tjp. Willie Mack, he was sitting at the table. And so Don Callis had interrupted him. And so this is what Don Callis had to say to Willie Mack.
Hey, Willie, what's going on? What up, fool? I don't know. What's up, fool? I love that. This is great. We got the banter going on. We're just hanging out, just chilling. I mean,
What up, fool?
I don't know if I've told you, I'm a big fan of your work. You're fantastic. I got you here for what, how many years you here? You don't answer that. I've got it all in my office. I got big plans for you, Willie. Just hanging out. What do you got here? Ooh, we got a little dip ski, eh? We used to do this back in the day. This was a big thing. A little, I don't know how you do that and still perform, but listen, I see her watching your phone earlier. I mean, have you seen this video? I want to show you something, and I'm going to show it to you because I know you're best friends with Rich Swann. I know Rich listens to you. Rich is not listening to me right now, even though I'm his boss. So I want to show you this one-winged angel video that everyone's been talking about. That's Kenny Omega beating Rich Swann at Hard to Kill with a one-winged angel. And that's what I'm trying to tell Rich is going to happen to him.
Hey,
and
Uh-oh.
Yo, you showing that lame-ass video?
You're great in this video. Taking the
Rich Swann interrupts.
Yeah, and by the way, I was going to tell you, Kenny and I love your finishing move. Kenny can't wait to kick out of it.
Oh, snap.
No, stand up and talk to me like a man.
Well, I can do that, sure.
Yeah. Stand up and talk to me like a man.
Yeah.
You think you're gonna get
I'm a
into
big
my
risk.
head?
I'm already in your head.
Oh, no,
Let's be
you're
clear.
not.
I'm in
You're
everybody's
not.
head.
No, you're not in my head, brother. And let me tell you something. You think that you coming in here getting to my friends as well?
Your friend's a smart guy. I thought he could talk some sense in you.
Well, yeah, he's a smart guy, and I'm pretty sure he knows that I've got the heart and determination to beat your boy's ass. And, oh, yeah.
I don't care for your language. I mean, I'm an executive around here.
Oh, hey, executive around here. That's cool and all. You may be in my pocket. You may be one of the people responsible for writing my checks. But let me tell you
Done a lot
something.
for you,
Let me
Rich.
tell you something. If you weren't my boss, I'd smack them little Ray-Bans right off your face, dog.
Whoa, I mean,
Mr. Sheik's Chinese.
oh, so what's your?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
Mr. Golden Shake.
listen, there's a camera here, but so I'm just gonna say, if I wasn't your boss, you would slap me. Is that
Damn right.
okay? You know
You're
what?
damn right.
You know what? I'm not gonna embarrass Kenny Omega and our family by letting you talk to me like that. So I'm gonna do you a favor. For the next 10 minutes, I'm not the executive vice president.
Okay.
I'm not your boss.
I like that.
I'm Don by God Callis.
Oh.
Got the glass.
The glass time. Canadian heavyweight wrestling
We
champion.
ain't in Canada,
So
Daddy.
we can do this however you want. I'll bring
you
it
wanna
back
go?
old school one time.
Oh, you wanna go
Yes,
old
I want to go. I'm ready.
Oh, wow. And, oh, so the Good Brothers that came in.
You good? We just getting started. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Where you at, Callis?
Yeah, that was it with that. You know, yeah, so Don Callis, he set up Rich Swann. Kenny Omega attacked Rich Swann from behind. And the Good Brothers, they had showed up. And so, and then Eddie Edwards had showed up. Eddie Edwards had showed up, and, you know, to help out Rich Swann and Willie Mack. And so, yeah, that was it with that. And they made it into a 6-man tag team match next week with Gallows, Anderson, and Omega versus Rich Swann, Willie Mack, and Eddie Edwards. And so, yeah, that was it with that. I don't know if I agree with the 6-man tag team match. You know, it's going to be a great match, but I don't know if I agree with it. I don't want Kenny Omega and Rich Swann touching each other, you know, having their match. Just wait for them to, you know, have a match at Rebellion. And so, yeah, that was it with that. And so, right after that, we had Rohit Raju. He was backstage with Hernandez. And so, yeah, Hernandez was, you know, yeah, he was in the stage area, and he was, you know, he was by himself. And so Rohit Raju had came in. He was talking to Hernandez, and he wanted Hernandez to be his partner. He wanted to be his partner. And so Hernandez, you know, he didn't like the fact that Rohit Raju just showed up, you know, on his turf. And so, yeah, he was like, "Are you showing up on my turf? I don't appreciate it. You know, if you're going to show up on my turf, you better have some money. Like, do you have money in your hand?" That's what he was asking me. Like, do you have money in your hand? If you don't, you can get the stepping. So get out of here. I don't want to be your partner. I'm not your friend. You know, because Hernandez, he's portrayed as a mercenary. And, you know, he's not going to work with you unless you pay him. And so that's what he was saying. And so, yeah, that was it with that. And so right after that, we had a video package or a vignette from Violent by Design. That's Eric Young, Rhino, Diener, and Joe Doering. And so this is what happened.
One
design, the leader of a movement. Now, some people would look at that as a mistake. Violence is the path. Internally and externally, see, it's the only thing the disease understands. Violence showed Rhino the way. He was baptized in the holy waters of change. We've all been cleansed by the holy waters of change. The olive branch won't be extended to all. You want to know what 1,000 matches means to me, Storm? The disease has taken hold. You're too far gone. You're lost to the purity of truth, James. This company was built on the backs of men. Men that have withstanded the test of time, and yes, you are one of them. But so am I. The future of this company, the future of this world, it hangs in the balance. And tonight I'm going to show you, like I've been saying all along, this world doesn't belong to you. It belongs to us.
And that was it. That was it from Eric Young. And what do you have to say about, Eric Young? I mean, James Storm. And so yeah, I'm thinking about getting a T-shirt, the Violent by Design T-shirt. I am Violent by Design. I think that's a really cool T-shirt. And so yeah, right after that we had Tommy Dreamer. He was talking to the ladies. He was talking to the ladies about hardcore justice, and so it's gonna be a 12-person scramble match or something like that, and the number one, the person that wins that scramble match, they'll get a title shot against Deonna Purrazzo, and that was it. I didn't see a video on it, and so yeah, so next week's show and the matches at Hardcore Justice is gonna be Kenny by God Omega, the AEW World Champion, and the Good Brothers. That's Doc Gallows and Karl Anderson with Don Callis in their corner, versus Rich Swann, the Unified World Champion of Impact Wrestling, Willie Mack, and Eddie Edwards. And that's the main event for next week. And yeah, they also announced the Hardcore Justice title versus career match with Deonna Purrazzo versus Jazz for the Impact Knockouts title. And so yeah, that's all the stuff that was announced. And so right after that, we had the main event. And it was Eric Young with Violent by Design. That's Rhino, Diener, and Joe Doering versus James Storm with Chris Sabin, Chris Harris, and Jake Something in his corner. So this was a James Storm 1,000 match in Impact Wrestling. It was good. It was a good match, but I wouldn't have had the brawl. The brawl, took away from the match. It felt like, with the lumberjacks, that's what it felt like. It felt like a lumberjack match. And I really don't like the lumberjack matches and and the outside interference, because they take away from the match. And so yeah, that's the only thing I didn't like about it. But it was still a good match. But yeah, we had Storm and EY. They were going back and forth, counter after counter, so they know each other really well. We had a knee drop follow up by a leg drop to EY. And then, Diener, he is distracted. And so, yeah, Diener distracted James Storm. And so, EY, he had sent James Storm into the ring post. And so, we had a swinging the neckbreaker to Storm. Storm kicks out. We had a Northern Lights suplex to James Storm into the turnbuckle. So, that was a nasty spot, man. Right after that, man, this dude landed on his head, James Storm did. So, that was a nasty, 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 nasty spot. And so, yeah, EY, he goes for the cover. And then Storm, he had grabbed the rope to break up the pin. And so we had a hangman's neckbreaker to James Storm. He had kicked out. And so Storm, he had fought back. He hit EY with forearms. And he had hit him with a jumping neckbreaker. And then Eric Young had kicked out. And then we had James Storm. He had hit his signature move, the Eye of the Storm, that spinning razor's edge. And then EY, he had kicked out. And we had a jumping neckbreaker to Storm, follow up by a diving elbow drop to Storm, and he kicked out. And then we had a super kick to Storm. He had kicked out of that. And so EY and James Storm, they're going back and forth with strikes. And we had a backstabber to EY. And so Diener again, he distracted the referee again. And so Sabin, he had stopped Diener. And so that's when a fight had broke out. And so yeah, everybody was fighting outside the ring. Yeah, the Violent by Design guys fighting with Jake and Chris Sabin, and then you had Chris Harris on the other side of the ring, and you had Eric Young. He tried to grab his mask, that mask that he wear out to the ring when he make his entrance. And so yeah, EY he tried to use his mask, and so Chris Harris had stopped EY from using the mask. And so yeah, so EY he had went right after Harris, and so yeah, they were going back and forth, and so Harris had dropped him, and so yeah, Harris had brought EY back into the ring, and so James Storm had hit a super kick. He had a super kick on EY to win the match. So James Storm he had wins the match on his 1,000 match, and that was it. That was it with that. Good match, but I would have gotten rid of the brawl, because the brawl took away from the match. And so yeah, man, that was it with that. That was the end of the show actually. And so yeah, they announced, early in the show, throughout the show, they announced that Impact is moving to Thursday nights. So that's a great move, a smart move by Impact. Because you have NXT moving to Tuesday nights. So that means that, Impact Wrestling, they did the smart thing by moving to Thursdays, because there is no way that people are going to watch Impact Wrestling over NXT. So that's why it was a smart move for them to move on Thursday, where they were on Thursday. They used to be on Thursday. And so yeah, everything is spaced out though. Everything is spaced out now. So Monday you got Monday Night Raw, Tuesday you got NXT, Wednesday you got AEW, Thursday you got Impact Wrestling, and Friday you got Friday Night SmackDown. So that's good. That's good for everybody. And so yeah, man. So that's what they announced throughout the show. Impact moving to Thursday night. And so yeah, man, that was it with the show. That was it with the matches. It was a decent show. It wasn't the best show. It wasn't even a bad show. It was a decent show. And so yeah, man. So this was the Impact Wrestling review on D Ryan Awesome Show for March 30th, 2021. And if you like this video, man, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for, man? Hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. And right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell so you'll be the first ones to know when my next video will come out, because just like what I said before, I am here each and every single week. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and you click on that bell so you don't miss out. And yeah, man, and I'll see you guys on Wednesday for AEW Dynamite. And yeah, man, share this video, comment down below, tell me how you felt about this episode of Impact Wrestling. And share this video, comment down below. And yeah, if you missed my last week's review of Impact Wrestling, the video is going to be right up here in this corner, right up here. And yeah, man, and once again, guys, thank you for the support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And yeah, man, see you guys for Wednesday on AEW Dynamite. And this has been, oh yeah, follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter at Ryan Awesome Show. And yeah, man, and this has been the Ryan Awesome Show. Take care, stay safe, and that's that.